Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today I'm taking a moment because I have a slightly different camera set up. I got a tip from watching somebody else the other day, and I've changed my mount a little bit, so I'm just trying to get a sense of how everything is. If you're joining me, please do say hello in the comments so I know who is here and watching along. Yeah, I seem to be live. I seem to be in the right place. The moment I seem to be by myself, but that's just fine. We're going to get started here. Before I jump into my project, which is before I jump into my project, I want to remind you all we are down to our last week of the 2022-2023 annual catalog, and we are getting ready to launch next Tuesday this 2023-2024 annual catalog. If you are one of my customers, your catalog is on its way to you. If you are in Australia and you're not working with another demonstrator and you would like to have a hard copy of the catalog, which, as much as I love technology, it is a very different experience to actually see the physical catalog, I would be happy to send you one. Just send me a note, nancy@nancysniftynotes.com, and I would be happy to get one into the mail to you. So, that administrivia taken care of. Let's get on to our project. So this is another in my series of cards to help you work through your stash of designer series paper. This is a very simple fun fold card. A fun fold card is anything that's not just a card with a simple fold in the middle, whichever direction. This one is called a flip top card. It uses just a quarter of a sheet of cardstock and another strip. You'll see, I'll make one. It's got a little score line there so it can tuck under the designer series paper here. I've used up 3 pieces of designer series paper. Again, one entire sheet back here, and then 2 strips on the flap. Hello Gladys, thanks for joining me today. I think there are a couple other people. Please do say hello in the comments. This is using the Sunprints designer series paper. It's got a lot of blues, which you know I love. And you wouldn't think that the patterns would work because they're all kind of the same but different and busy, but I think this works pretty well. I picked ones that all have the navy and a little bit of Pacific Point, and it goes into Starry Sky as well. So that's the first one I did, is a test of concept, if you will. And I have put aside stuff to make another one. And I have picked out the more contemporary, not the actual foliage designs, these two, and again this same foliage design that's used on the top flap there. So again, we start with just a quarter sheet of cardstock, and then we make a layer. I'm going to do this one, I think. We're going to make our first layer. Hello Meredith, thanks for joining me today. What a nice surprise. Yeah, so we're going to make first layer, and if you're working in inches, you know your layers, right? So your base is going to be 5.5 by 4 1/4, and then your next layer is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. Here with the A4 cardstock, we've got 14.9 by 10.5, so this is going to be 10 by 14.4. And that's going to be my first layer of my cardstock. So then we need to make our flap. And I just happen to know that 7 centimeters is a really good width because it lets you see, where's my sample here? You get to see the designer series paper that's underneath, but you have enough to work with here. It can be wider. I don't know exactly what the dimension is for the letter cardstock, but because yours are shorter and wider than our bases, yours can be a bit wider than this. So 7 centimeters is 2 3/4 inches. You can probably go, well, it'd be 4 1/4. So yeah, you could go 3 or even 3 1/4, no problem. Okay, and then I'm gonna make this (15 centimeters). And then I'm going to score 1 centimeter at the top to make the flap. So let me show you what that's going to do. That's going to hook over that designer series paper and come not quite down to the bottom there. So that means I need a piece for the front that is going to be 6.5 centimeters wide. And I'm going to trim off a bit of that because that's boring. And I'm going to come 6.5 centimeters wide. And then I think I need about 13.4. I really like, see what you can see here. I really like that bit there. So I'm gonna cut this off up here. And then I'm gonna trim it to length. Let's make sure 13.4 is where I wanna go. Yep. This is interesting, but if I cut off some of it, 13.4, it'll still be interesting down there. I'm gonna trim this a little more up here. I'm trying to make it interesting at both ends. And I don't care that it seems wasteful because I'm just trying to use up this designer series paper, and interesting is better than boring. So now if I cut that off, it's still interesting down here, but I also have that up there. So that is going to fit nicely on there. And now I'm also going to do a similar piece, identical piece actually. Again, I'm trying to use up the paper, so I'm going to cover the back flap too. 13.4, this is the same everywhere. I don't need to finagle it at all. Okay, that should give me all of my pieces. Let's see how we're going here. Oh, nope, I need one more. Because I need a place to write. So again, 6.5. And 13.4. Now, I should have everything I need. So just double check it before I start gluing everything. That's gonna go on that piece. And then when it opens, that's going to be on the inside. Woohoo, look at that. Pattern, pattern, pattern. And that's going to be underneath to write on. Okay, let's do some glue. Oh, you love the blues too, yes. Blues, blues, blues. I'm so excited. There's another whole suite of paper that is blues in the new catalog. And it is ordered. And hopefully soon will be on its way. We have a whole backlog of orders right now. But it'll get here. And I have a whole year to play with it. And we're going to put this one on. We need to remember it goes this way. Okay, there's my flap. And now I want to adhere it to this layer. And I'm just eyeballing to get it halfway. There we go. And now we'll adhere this to the base. You may notice I turn my paper usually so that I'm laying things down horizontally. And I'll tell you why that is. It's much easier to see that I have an even margin all the way around on these three sides, and then I can lay it down on this side. If I'm working up here, it's harder. Down here is okay, but somehow I see more easily when it's horizontal. So there's that. And now I just need my writing panel in there. And again, I'm going to go horizontally, and I want it to be lined up so it's hidden underneath here. And kind of straight would be good too. So before I go pushing, I'm going to make sure it is all covered up there. And now I will just press it in. And it's funny because these stripes are a little wonky, so I go, oh my gosh, is that actually straight? And you know what? It's straight enough. So now, what to put on the front? Are we going to embellish it, put a sentiment, etc.? And I do have another one of these happy birthdays. I put that on this one. The question is, I might try bringing in a scrap here and stamping it in navy on white. I might like that better. I think I just bumped the camera, sorry. And I'm going to cut this out with the die, and I'll be right back. Thinking, yeah, that just kind of gets lost. wonder if I need to go back and redo this one. Yeah, I think I might. I'll just glue it right on top there. We'll see. That's fine. So bring in some dimensionals. Pop that up. Hey Roseanne, thanks for joining me today. There we go. And let's see about some bling. I have been using up these blue ones, but I'm thinking maybe I don't like those with it. They say Night of Navy, but they come across more like Starry Sky, which is not what we're doing on here. I am actually thinking, if I can find them, that's Rhinestones, pearls. I'm thinking some of these iridescent pearls. Oh, come here. And I also think nights without as well. Oh, you think the pearls are a nice touch? I'm just trying to figure out where. It's always my struggle. You like that? What do you think? Okay, we're going to say yes to that. And this one I had done the blue. I was very much into blues on blues on blues with white. So I did those. We're going to leave those. And then I started another one, and we're just going to go in and try to fix it here. Some of it may just have to be started over. See, mistakes do happen. I managed to, yeah. We're gonna start that over again, I think. Let's see what we've got for paper. Whoop, so sorry. Okay, so we need 10. 14.4. We're using up some Pacific Point here too. And seven. And we still need more. What are we doing here? It's the same as that. That. What have I done here? That one. We're going to go with this. Even though it's small, we're still going to use it up. Because it's pretty on there. Cut a little bit more. Go. What are we going to do on the front? What? It's interesting when you get down to the very end to figure out what it is you're going to actually be able to do. There we go. That's reusable. Good. Okay. Let's clear out some of this. So now you get to see that it is possible to recover from things that look pretty tragic. Oh, really? Come on. So, Pacific Point is one of these colors that are retiring next week. So again, it may be hard to see, especially with the camera up so high, but there is a little shadowy effect of Pacific Point in that one and in this one. And of course, there's a lot of Pacific Point in this one. So we'll get that on there. And we'll stick this on first. Come on. See, I'm doing it vertically, like I said I don't like to do, because I can't see the edges so well. This one is just doomed. Oh my goodness. See, all covered. Good. Okay, basic card. Whew. That's amazing. Let's do it on there in white. So clean this off with the blue. Bring in my embossing buddy. For those of you who don't know, that's a little powder-filled pouch. It cleans any oils from my fingers off the cardstock and reduces static, because what I'm going to do here is put this clear sticky ink on there. You should be able to see that, I hope. And yep, and now I'm going to go put some white embossing powder. I'll show you here on camera. White embossing powder on there. See, and I don't have any extra sticking anywhere else. It's just sticking to that sticky ink. And now I'm heating it up with a heat tool. Back so you can see. It's now melted and shiny and glossy, and now I'm going to cut it out with the die. So, there it is. I think that will be nice right up there. Again, we bring in dimensionals. These are my mini dimensionals. Guys have gone quiet. And yeah, brighter blue, Pacific Point. But you don't need to remember that because that is going away. Okay, so I think I'm pretty pleased remaking that. That was my original. And we made this one. Let's do that. That looks better, right? So, thank you for joining me. I will be back same time, same place next week with another project and hopefully some new product to show you because we will be finished with all the retired product. So, thank you again, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.